Hello and welcome to Cox Local Edition on CNN Headline News. I'm Catherine Falk with Cox Communications. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're so pleased to have the new music director for the Fairfax Symphony Orchestra with us, Christopher Zimmerman. Welcome to Cox Local Edition.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So you're the new music director. How long have you been on the job now?
Well, this is the first season. I was hired in May, so we just had the season started in September, so it's kind of 2 or 3 months.
Great. Yeah. And that was a long audition process, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I was the last candidate, in fact, and it was over a period of 2 years. I'm thrilled. What can I say?
Good. Yes, with the 53-year-old Fairfax Symphony Orchestra,
that's
so they
right.
have a long history. And I know you have a lot of wonderful experience before you came here. Tell us where you were.
Well, at the moment I live in Connecticut. I'm on the faculty of the Hart School of Music, and I conduct the orchestra there. And before that, I've been conductor of some other professional orchestras in this country, in Maine and in Texas.
Terrific.
And before that, I was in England. I come from England originally, so a checkered past. Yeah?
Yes, well, we're so happy to have you.
Right.
So you are at the midpoint almost of your season,
That's
the 2009-2010 season, but you have so many exciting things coming up. Tell us about the big January 13th or 23rd concert that's coming up.
Well, we are, during this season, we're actually focusing on as well as giving a huge array of different music, we're focusing on one composer sort of more than some others, and that's the Finnish composer Sibelius. So we're doing 2 pieces by him this year, and the first one is in that concert, his first symphony. This is in January. And also we're doing some music by Haydn. And the orchestra actually hasn't played that much real classical music, like Mozart, Haydn. Tended to do more romantic music in the past, so I thought it'd be nice to sort of vary the diet a bit by doing some earlier stuff. And also the Barber Violin Concerto with a really magnificent young violinist. It's actually the 100th anniversary of his birth, Barber's birth, so that should be exciting as well.
Terrific. And how many people are in the Fairfax Symphony Orchestra?
Oh, I don't know. Lots.
I mean, it
varies.
It's a big orchestra.
Yeah, it varies.
Yeah.
I think on average about 80 to 90 players on the stage, but some pieces, like for instance the Haydn we're going to do, is going to be a smaller group. The Sibelius is a big group. The first concert we did this year, the opening concert we did, the Rite of Spring by Stravinsky, which is a huge group. But by and large, 80 to 90, I would say.
Good. Tell us, in March you have a very important concert coming up.
Well, yeah, March is pretty special because we have a piece by an Israeli composer called Avner Dorman, and it was written for Alan Goldstein, who is the pianist who we've invited to do it. And it's going to be actually the second performance ever. He played with the orchestra a couple of years ago, and it was an incredible hit with the whole community, actually, as well as the orchestra. So he's coming back to actually do the second performance of this piece, which I think is really going to be an event. And in fact, the composer himself will be here.
Great.
So that's also special.
And it's so much more special to see this in live format rather than just listening on the radio.
Yeah, I mean, all sorts of reasons. I mean, recordings are great. Especially if you've got a great system, to listen to. You put the headphones on, it sounds fantastic. But it's a different thing entirely. I mean, when you're there, you're never quite sure what's going to happen. I mean, there's a reaction. The orchestra plays differently depending on the reaction of the audience, the size of the audience. Everything is different from rehearsals because they're reacting to the conductor's reacting to them. It's a live performance, and there's this great intermingling and collaboration of musicians. It's fantastic. It can be fantastic.
I'm sure. Tell us how our viewers can learn more about all the wonderful things going on at the Fairfax Symphony Orchestra.
I think go to the website.
Terrific.
www.fairfaxsymphony.org.
Yes.
And there are tickets available. It explains when the concerts are, how many there are. It's pretty clear.
Terrific. Christopher Zimmerman, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's a pleasure.
And thank you for joining us on Cox Local Edition on CNN Headline News. Have a great day.